This is hit the like, hit the subscribe. Come talk some game 3 of the NBA Finals. And it's June for our fight-ins. Giddy up.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! You're flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Strips, and we'll talk about them a little bit more in detail in a minute or two here. But as always, we have Ralph Delvecchio. We have Greg Milakovic. I am Tom Arnone. There is a lot of people missing from A2D Wednesday night, and I'm not going to run through them all. You guys can do that homework yourself. But what I am going to run through is everything we're talking about tonight. We'll give you Heat, Nuggets, Game 3 reactions as that's going on live. We'll give you that. We'll preview now. We'll obviously start out Phillies, and we're going to preview what's coming up. You got a big Dodgers series coming up, but you also have a game tomorrow now that you got to make up with Detroit. So we'll get into a little bit of that, of what's going on tomorrow, and obviously this entire Tiger series, and obviously the little win streak that's taken place, and we'll foreshadow that and see what that leads to in the future. But all Phillies talk ties into our poll question that we'll get into in just 1 second. But we are brought to you by Phillies Sports Trips. And hey, Birds fans, Phillies fans, Tom Arnone with some huge news. Not only has Phillies Sports Trips released their Eagles schedule, their Phillies schedule is money. So make sure you go check them out. PhillySportsTrips.com. Reserve your spot today. You'll get to watch an Eagles game in a great city, hang out with guys like the former Eagles like Hollis Thomas, John Dornbos, David Akers. Philly Sports Trips booked at the best hotels. You know you'll have a great time. Book now and tell them A2D sent you. PhillySportsTrips.com. Our poll question tonight, though, is brought to you by, who does Tom want to run one tonight? Fan Up. Fan Up is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NBA, as that comes to an end, they got big-time NFL contests when that rolls around. And MLB's every day. They got MLB contests. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D, and you get $50 at sign-up, $50 that is, and you can download Fan Up on the Apple Store. Our poll question for this evening: the Phillies must have a winning record in June to stay on track for the playoffs. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, download, join the conversation. It's June. We know what happened last June for our Phillies. Okay. And knowing that, like, hey, we're almost on the outside looking in. Okay. We after a stretch of great baseball, right? They better. So I absolutely agree. They better have a winning record in June. This is everybody's month. This is everybody's month. Everybody here tells me, and which I know. A lot of guys have great Junes. A lot of guys only get better, through the second half of the year. But it starts now. Okay? You can't be like, oh, after All-Star break, we'll get hot as a pistol. Like, you better have a winning month. Right? You better have a winning month, and at worst, see yourself back to 500 by the end of this month. So I agree to the poll that the Phillies must have a winning record in June to stay on track for the playoffs. Because right now they're still they're right in that wild card conversation, as everybody is still this air quote early into the season. But things start to separate themselves, right? And if you're not playing good baseball this month, and July comes around, somebody's going to be. There's going to be enough teams that are in that wild card conversation that will be playing good baseball. So you don't want to find yourself like 10 out of a wild card spot. Like, are we okay? Like, grow up, Peter Pans. If you think like you want to see yourself 8 to 10 going into July, there's a lot of tight buttholes around the city of Philadelphia, and I'm one of them. So I'm not telling you got to be like 10 games over 500 or something like, or like 15 games over 500 in June. I'm not like going to like say you got to be that, but you better be 500 leaving June as a baseball team. As a baseball team, right? I think we can all agree with that. You better be at minimum 500 leaving June, and then I forget what their exact record is.
I'm pulling it up right now.
But I feel like they're 5 under, 4 under.
Yep.
Right now, so they're in that area. What was it? 4 or 5?
29 and 32, so they're 3 back. They're 3 under 500 right now.
So even better. Okay, even better than my 4 or 5. Okay, even better. So that being said, you better now. June's already started, obviously, and they've won games in June. Okay, so 4 or 5 is sort of where I was at. Okay, maybe 5, like 5 games under coming into June,
right,
somewhere around then. So you gotta then take care of business and end this month feeling good about yourself as a team, right? So that's where I stand. You better leave feeling good about yourself as a baseball team, because if you don't, if you're going into July, okay, a lot of guys start gripping. A lot of guys will be gripping and not running. It's usually ripping and running. You have guys gripping and not running. So what does everybody out there say? What do you think? I mean, is somebody? I'm waiting for the guy to tell me like, oh, it's okay. You know, they go with 20 they win 20 games in July.
In
20,
July,
you know,
this is a good guy.
And be lights on and light the world on fire. They could, sure. They're super talented, but you better start playing that really good baseball right now. It doesn't even have to be like hot as a pistol right now. It has to be really good baseball.
And it's not like the month of June is an easy sailing for us either, because we got the Dodgers coming up, and you're like, okay, we have a playoff team. And you got the Diamondbacks coming up again. You're like, shit. Well, we got
Arizona where we don't play well.
We got road last time. We played against them. And then at the end of the month, we got the Braves and Mets again. And it's like, oh my God. But we started off really good. To the poll question for me, I agree. And it's kind of like it's deja vu again for us Phillies fans, because I think that we're in the same exact position we were last year, where it was like, well, here's June. We're a month away from the All-Star break. You know, what are we going to do? You know, obviously we had to turn it on. I mean, obviously the month for Kyle Schwarber, right? His big month is here, and he's already off to a good start so far, right? So that's pretty good to see. But like I said, in June, it's another gauntlet for the Phillies. Hopefully, I agree with you, Tommy, on the part where, you know, either over 500 or 500 to end the month of June, and I think you're pretty good. You're 3 games under 500, which is not ideal for a team that has the desire to get back to the World Series. But like I said, it's deja vu again for us. You know, we were almost in the same spot we were last year coming into this month, where it was like, okay, we got to get things rolling. And obviously the Phillies ended up doing that and started getting rolling. And to the point that you made, Tommy, where, you know, a lot of people are like, well, we could just wait until the All-Star break. Well, that might be too late, dude. You know, if you wait to the All-Star break and you're 6-7 games out and out of the wild card, you're like, God, like now we got to put on a run, right? Now you got to go on the multiple winning streaks and win multiple series. And, you know, hopefully everything comes, you know, to a good start. You know what I mean? So I think for the Phillies right now, they have to have a winning record at the end of the June to at least give them a little bit more breathing room to, you know, maneuver in that wild card spot and feel good about yourself going into July and towards the All-Star break.
Yeah, absolutely, Ralphie. Totally agree.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off of that as well. You know, definitely agree. And not only did what you said was obviously spot on, but also just from a standpoint is we haven't seen consistently good baseball from this team yet this year.
No,
right?
We have not.
And Tommy, I think you posted something on your personal how since a certain date the Phillies have either been on a losing streak or a winning streak, except for like 2 days where I guess they went back and forth, right? So we haven't seen sustained good baseball. And Tommy, like you said, doesn't have to be 19 of 20, doesn't have to be 18 of 20. Like it could be 14 and 15 of 20 as long as you're playing good baseball, right? And that's what we haven't seen from this team a lot or consistently with them. We haven't seen complete games, not in terms of starting pitching, but we haven't seen complete team games, right? Good starting pitching, good defense, good offense, good bullpen. Whether that leads to a win or a loss, we just haven't seen those types of games. And then the other side of it is you look at what the current wild card is. We're 3 games back at the last spot. Teams ahead of us are like the Dodgers, Marlins, Pirates, Giants, Mets, right? You obviously think that some of those teams are going to fall back, specifically like the Pirates and the Marlins maybe. But they've played so good baseball so far this year that they might not be a flash in the pan. And then right below us, you got teams like the Padres, the Reds, the Cardinals, the Cubs, teams that for the most part traditionally have been pretty decent, especially the Cardinals. But the Reds just went full young mode, right? So we don't know what that youth movement's going to be. They may go on a run with their youth movement and be a contender there in the Central. So, yes, I absolutely agree. We have to get back to a winning record. I think a winning record in June puts us back, to your point, Tommy, right around 500 as a team, right? Because that's, with the amount of games in June, I think there's 27 total in June. So if you're at a winning record, you're probably 15-12.
Yeah, and you're
right?
4-2 right now to start the month. You're 4-2.
So they got to go another 11-9, 11-10. No, they can probably go. No, they can go 500 throughout the rest of the month. 11-11 to get 15-12.
What I want to get in the 500 though, because it's not a 500 now.
Yes, you're right there.
So they would have to go. They would have to go 18 and.
They'd have to go 8. Yeah, 18 and 8 throughout the rest of the month.
So I mean, I mean, you put yourself in that kind of hole to have months like that,
right?
So I mean, listen, it's not how you start; it's how you finish, and you're not at finish mode right now. But this is the rev up to your finish.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
No, absolutely. And the month of June, too, is huge for when you talk about a front office and a GM like Dombrowski, who's not afraid to make moves, who's not afraid to shake things up. The month of June is very telling to figure out what direction we're going to go. I don't think we necessarily become huge sellers. You know what I mean? But if we tank in June and we enter July 10 games back, well, there might be some pieces offloaded just to free up some money to then reload that, in the offseason and stuff like that. So if we're going to expect to buy and contend, we got to be playing some sort of good baseball throughout June.
Yes, but nobody on this roster is unloaded.
No, I agree.
Unless you're talking about maybe like some pitching, but like I don't know who would be I don't know who in their right mind as an organization would get into that game. But I don't think there's any way they sell unless they're like putrid. Like I don't think any way they sell just because it's baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because they have the money. They have the money to do things.
Right.
And if anybody's money, the only thing I think they would sell would be Nola.
Yeah.
If they weren't going to re-sign him, right? And you try to sell and get something back. Mm-hmm. If you felt like sides were far apart and you just weren't playing good enough baseball. But even that, I think, it is up there. But listen, Ethan's right. You need to get consistency from pitching. But the hitting to me is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
The hitting to me is the big one. Like you knew you had some maybe question marks pitching, but you also know some guys might have taken a minute to get going this year too. Like hitting as an overall thing, like hitting can win. This lineup should win you a lot of games.
Yeah.
So score a lot of runs for you.
Yeah, the fact that they haven't scored a lot of runs and it shows up, right? The numbers speak to it. It's tough to put that all on the pitching. I think they've helped each other, underachieve early on this year. Obviously, it's not like when you're not playing good enough and you have the money and you should be playing good enough, you're usually getting hurt from both spots at different times.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like a one. You got one part of the team's just not showing up at all. It's usually like a combo.
Yeah, and it's like the other day you look at, the Friday against the Nationals, when Wheeler goes, right? You score 7 runs in a Wheeler start, you should win that game, right? Like you should win that game. So there's the time where the pitching wasn't there, and then the offense came back and came through to give you enough runs, and the bullpen ultimately couldn't hold it. But no, Tommy, you're absolutely right. It's gotta start. We need to get consistent at bats from some of these guys that haven't been consistent. Schwarber and Turner are the 2 biggest ones. And it looks like now that June's here, they've both turned that corner, and hopefully are both, primed to take major leaps forward.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, I hope. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't have to hope for a Trea Turner to turn the corner. Like Schwarber, I can wrap my head around because we know what Kyle Schwarber is. He's a home run hitter, right? They're different players.
Yeah.
So Turner's more consistency when you're talking about average and you're talking about those types of things, right? Mm-hmm. So, but hopefully this is the start of him getting hot, right? Or warm, right? We'll even think of warm.
Yeah.
Is there a warm Trea Turner around? We're looking for a warm Trea Turner. So we're not gonna
is that available by any chance?
We thought that's what we got, right? Yeah. 300 hitters, a warm player all year round.
Yeah, usually is. But no, I mean, we'll see. They got obviously their work cut out for them for some things, right? For some things to get figured out. Obviously Ranger, he's been pitching better as he's came back here. Right. And I expect him to continue to get better. Walker had a really good outing last night. It's a really positive sign
really good.
For the Phillies. Nola had a really good outing the night before. Positives. And you hope you can ride some of these positives because we've had them before this year. And then they fell. So what this baseball team's looking for the most part, and their ups and downs have proven that, is consistency. There hasn't been enough consistency. You'll watch them win 5 in a row, and then they'll go lose 7 in a row. Okay. Thanks for the 5. The 5 are keeping me from being Oakland.
It was fun while we rested,
exactly.
It bothers me. But they're probably going to need to do some things at the deadline.
Yeah.
No matter how – I mean, I can't say no matter how good they're playing, because if they're freaking – they go 18 out of 20 again, they're not going to be, unless something falls on their doorstep, they're probably not hunting for it. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That'd be, always kind of wish they do kind of stay somewhat, because, we know they need a move, right? It's like you said, they need to make a move. You go 18 to 20, you're right. Then you start talking to yourself, oh, maybe we're okay. We're like, no. We still do need a move here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You're right. You do sort of say that to yourself, but you figure out if there's a hole. Where's the hole then, right? And if that's the 5th spot, and it's glaring, that's killing us.
Christian Braun,
right? If it's it is Christian Braun. If it's glaring, if that's glaring, the 5th spot's killing you. But you're also not going to overpay for a 5th starter. And why I say that is a 5th starter doesn't start in the postseason.
Right.
So you're only paying for that for the rest of the regular season. So how many starts does that calculate out to after the deadline?
At that point of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question I don't have. I mean, so it's really okay, is there a bench piece? Is there a right-handed bat off the bench that can lose a baseball or 2 for us? Right? And you sort of look for those things. And then you're always open for relievers, right? You're never going to pass up on having too many good relievers in the back end of your pen. So if guys like that are available, I expect them to be in on those types, obviously. Yeah, sure. But I mean, besides that, right now, we're not good enough, and there isn't a glaring hole outside of a 5th starter. I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can we figure some shit out around here? Because to me on paper, I don't know what the problem is. What am I fixing? Hey, Rob. So we'll see what they do, guys. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of baseball to be played,
and you're not doing that again, right? You did that, right? As much as we might, question some day game stuff and managerial stuff. You're not doing that again. That's what bad teams do, and that's what bad organizations do.
No, it's going to be time to ship out some players. Then,
Yes.
if this is what you're doing every year.
Oh, there's no shot Rob gets fired. There's like you said, Greg, you're not going down that route again. You can't.
No. You start firing players, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe this is that type of team they are. Like overall, like maybe they're a team that just goes through with the first 2 months, and then they start getting locked in. They start getting comfortable in the day-to-day of it, and they start getting hot, right? And they start getting hot as a ball club.
It would be nice if they sent out that memo though to us fans earlier in the year, like, "Hey, we might be a little putrid through the first 2 months, but once we hit June, as a team, we're just going to take off."
Well, St. Louis has been like that for a decade, Greg.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like the Cardinals have been like that for a decade.
They're known for that. Start off slow and they just start, and then just full speed ahead once June and July comes around.
Oh, even this year, they stink this year, and I just smell it coming. Like they'll win 20 in a row. Like, quietly, like the Cardinals will win 20 in a row on you in like August. Like that's where you
right when you think they're out of it.
Yep, you go into August, you start counting teams out.
Yep.
And
they'll win 20 in a row, and they're like, "Oh my God, they're in a wild card
from
spot."
St. Louis. No one now because they've just won 10 in a row. Oh shit!
Yeah, that's what they do. Now I prefer not to wait to those months, but you got to at least start playing good baseball so you can put yourself in those types of positions, right? And what I mean by those types of positions is the positions to be able to get really hot, to win a division late or whatever it may be, right? You've proven last year, we've proven it to ourselves that you don't need a division title to get to where you want to get to. You just don't, right? There's things you just don't need. So our poll tonight, for everybody just joining us, is that, well, actually, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a break. And when we come back from our break, which is only 42 seconds long, when we come back from our break, we'll get into our poll question again for anybody who's missed it. And we'll continue talking Phillies. So don't go anywhere.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
There you have it. PhillySportsTrips.com. You just joined us. This is A2D Wednesday nights. Ralph Del Vecchio down below. Greg Milakovic over there. I'm Tom Arnone. Appreciate you all joining in, talking some Phillies with us. I feel like I'm talking.
Trouty just went yard.
Who?
Trouty for Anaheim.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah.
Glad to see the Heat showed up tonight.
Yeah. It's a way to defend your home court. Really good job of that. Hey, we stole game 2, but we're going to get blown out by 20 in game 3. All right. If you're just joining us, our poll for tonight was the Phillies must have a winning record in June to stay on track for the playoffs. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Join the conversation. Let us know what you think. We had a clean sweep, which is what we're going for tomorrow here.
Yes.
We had it on the panel, and we're looking for it tomorrow against the Detroit Tigers. And did they announce what time that game is?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock tomorrow. Okay.
I think it was the same time today was supposed to be.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, go sweep them. Because then, God forbid, you lose 2 out of 3 against LA. You still had a 4-2 homestand.
Yeah.
Now, we prefer you to go win 2 out of 3 and really have a great homestand. Because the okay homestand don't fly, homie. You know what I mean? The okay homestand doesn't fly because you've been putrid on the road. You can't be putrid on the road and not have great homestands. Like, you better not, or you're going to see yourself really far out of the postseason or really early. You don't want to fall into those categories.
Tomorrow.
What was that, Ralph?
Wheeler's on the mound tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just an extra day off. So it's not bad.
Huge.
It's not bad. You give these guys all an extra day.
And
well, not all of them. Not all of them, because obviously the other guys were supposed to go Friday. So it doesn't push anybody back in your rotation. It just gives Wheeler an extra day.
Yeah.
So you would expect an extra day, even fresher. You would hope.
Yeah. And this sweep and this series is so important because, how bad we played in New York, right? Getting swept in New York almost makes this series a sweep series, especially since you lost that opener to Washington too, right? You went on that 5-game losing streak right there inside of the NL East, which then makes this series at home so much more important, knowing you have the Dodgers coming in. And you're not expected to sweep the Dodgers, right? But you go ahead and sweep Detroit, and then you can go ahead and just win a series. And it gives you a little bit more wiggle room. But that's where the New York series, getting swept by Senga and Carrasco, right? Getting beat by those guys, just hurt so much more than it did like in real time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it did. It definitely did. Philly sports also. I disagree. I mean, the day off doesn't matter when you're home, when you're sitting at home anyway, because they're here. Right?
Yeah, the Dodgers have to come here. Yeah,
the day off just happened today.
Yeah,
he's got a day off, so I mean, it's not gonna affect the because you're not traveling to LA. You're traveling to LA, and we got okay. I'm right with you. I'm right with you, but no, in baseball.
And like you said, the starters were already set for this series. Like Ranger was always starting Friday. It gave Wheeler an extra day. It didn't move anything around.
No, definitely didn't. Oh, well, Zach, if they go sweep the Dodgers, that's phenomenal.
Oh.
I mean, the Dodgers are playing great baseball coming in, which always makes you a little nervous too.
Shit, we sweep the Dodgers, man. We might be getting Ohtani by the end of the week. Yeah.
I don't know if they lost tonight.
Dodgers lost in a walk-off today.
So that's 4 in a row they lost?
They've lost 4 in a row.
Yep.
Oh,
And
they play tomorrow too. They play a road game. They play a day game tomorrow in Cincinnati.
They play at 12.
They don't have a day off either.
Yep. They play at 12:30 tomorrow. And then they gotta fly here right after. Kershaw's going tomorrow for them.
Yeah, not a good.
I don't know what their pitching rotation is coming into this one for LA. That is for them. It doesn't have anything listed for them.
On ESPN, it does.
Philly Sports Hustle. I think Clemens. I mean, listen, Clemens has played well. I think the reason you don't see him as much as maybe you would like at times is because they're really missing the righty bat. They're really looking for the righty power bat in this lineup somewhere. Outside of the guys they have already, they're looking for another one, which I never really understood because they're not like overly lefty heavy to begin with. Like, I don't think they're as lefty heavy as people think they are. Like Schwarber, Harper, and Marsh, and Stott. It's 4 lefties. Like,
yeah. What? Yeah.
I don't think that's overly lefty heavy.
And he doesn't really play Marsh very much against lefties either. At least he hasn't.
But it's not like overly hefty. I mean, hefty.
Hefty
overly,
lefty.
hefty lefty. It's not overly lefty heavy.
Right.
So that's what makes it weird to me is that, okay, 5 compared to 4, it's the same difference.
Yeah.
To worry about it that much, but that's why you see it. And it's okay. I mean, that's what I mean, the Marsh isn't okay, but the Clemens not facing lefties is okay. But if there was a lefty first baseman that raked, I wouldn't shy away from him because I got lefties. You know what I mean? Like, I don't shy away from that.
Yeah.
Unless I have 4 lefties in my division that are filthy.
Really, yeah, pitcher-wise, yeah. But no, I think Clemens, for the playing time he's had, has done fine. There was a few times early in the year when, of course, we weren't playing well, that I was almost done with the whole Clemens experience. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, I'm seeing him too much. But then, of course, with the injury now to Bohm, you're seeing more of him because, he's been here. But I think he's done really well. I think he's handled his own. He is that marginal everyday player / high end, first piece off the bench type of player, right? And he's playing like that.
No, he is. He is playing like that. He'll give you some big hits at times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's some things that he'll do at times for you as a baseball team. You're like, okay. I mean, okay. Look at that. It's a big hit for us. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, he's been 256. It's nothing special, right? He can lose a baseball here and there. He can some doubles. He's like Greg said, he's a marginal MLB player. But if I had, like I said, there's a big lefty out there on the market, you're not going to shy away from it.
Yeah.
They're just trying to find the righty that has power that can make up for a little bit of no Reese right now. But when Derek Hall comes back, you expect Derek Hall is going to get a lot of time at first base. And Cody Clemens may not even be up here anymore. He might get sent back down. You don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what their moves are. When you look through it, I'm trying to look to see what they.
I think they only have 4 off the bench, right? So it's like currently right now it's what? It's it's Guthrie, it's who's the catcher? Why am I drawing a blank on Stubby?
It's who you said. It's Stubbs. It's Ellis right now.
Right.
It's Harrison.
And
then there's one more, isn't there?
And Guthrie.
Yeah, so there's your bench. And none of those guys, Stubbs is going to be there, right? Stubbs is there. None of those guys scare you coming off the bench. But again, that's why they're bench pieces, right? I mean, how many people have true scary guys coming off the bench? And then when Bohm comes back, either Sosa or Clemens becomes one of those bench pieces, right? And you're right. When Hall comes back, they got a decision to make because I guess traditionally Clemens is more of a utility guy, can play a couple different positions, where Hall is just first base or DH, right? So what are they at that point when that happens? What do they value at that point, right? Do they need just that first baseman and DH and that's all you need? Or do they need a guy a little bit more versatility and stuff like that? So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
No, it is. Right. I have no gripes about it. I mean, guys are getting opportunities to earn that that are up here right now. So if if one of these guys is hot, they're not going to send them down for Derek Hall.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not like you're getting Reese Hoskins back. So you're not just going to automatically send that guy down. So if Ellis plays really well or Clemens plays really, or, right, either one of those two guys play really well, then it's going to make it tougher. But if one of them's not, one of them takes the other one's spot and the other one's gone.
Yeah.
And Hall's probably still up here. So I'm sure Hall comes back up no matter what. Just one of those guys got to beat out the other guy for the last spot.
Yeah, Harrison and Clemens. But I think once Pache's done too, I think Pache for Guthrie is an even swap.
Oh yeah. Another
That's
swap.
1-1. See ya.
Yep. See you later. Thanks for stopping over.
Yeah. Thanks for having fast. Thanks for being fast because you got nothing else for me.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate your speed.
I mean, Christian Pache's probably back soon.
I think so.
I mean, when did he?
I should look that up.
I thought he started his rehab assignment.
I think they both have. Hall and Murray again. Hall and Pache, I believe, did.
So Derek Hall's has a thumb expected to be out until at least June 9th is what they're saying right now for the injury. Christian, it does not say for him. Let Let me see.
He was at high A. He was at the Jersey Shore. Started. This was 5 days ago. That's when he started his rehab. So, probably couple weeks. I mean, he's more or less just got to get back running. You know what I mean? He's not one of those guys. I mean,
Christian just started what in AAA, right? This week?
No,
AAA?
high A.
Oh, high A.
Christian was high A. It's unfortunate because he was starting to swing the bat a little bit when he got hurt, but he's not traditionally a guy that you got to worry about.
And then
getting
Alvarado, they're saying that he could come back Friday.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, he could be activated on Friday. And then Bohm expected return as early as June 10th. So
yeah, that's his date. It's all matter of Bohm. It's the hammy, right? So
yeah,
it's so tough because you test it and then you pop it again, right?
Yeah, do a little pregame warm up. You stretch it out and then it pops again, and you're like, oh shit! Yeah. Well, here's another week that I'm down for.
No, so they definitely have some people coming. In terms of just their own side, it's just a matter of, kind of like we said, what moves do they make to make those holes outside of Pache, because that's the easy one. Pache for Guthrie, then everything else is a thought process. 97-83 Heat, just under 4.5. Well, I'm sorry, 97-83 Nuggets, just over 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
It looks like the Nuggets are going to get this one tonight.
Nuggets seem to be getting this one, although Joker just missed a somewhat easy bucket. Oh, my God, Kyle Lowry. Go cry again. Jimmy missed a three.
Is there anybody out there on the market that intrigues you a little bit, Greg?
There's a lot of people out there that intrigue me, brother. A lot of people. But it also kind of depends on what level you're looking at, right? You know what I mean? You're looking for from a starting pitching. I thought I saw in the chat Shane Bieber, right?
That would be nice.
Nice, but you got to pay him.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So, and then are you making a decision, Nola or Wheeler or Bieber, or are you going to go both? Right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys. I think you look at, like the White Sox. The White Sox, three pitchers kind of come to mind when you look at the White Sox: Dylan Cease, Giolito, and
I'll take Giolito if you want. Whatever what you want to do with him. I'll take him.
Michael Kopech as well.
Yeah, I'll take Giolito right now.
Giolito, I think, is in that same boat, though, that if you go out and get a Bieber, right, you got to pay him. So, again, it becomes – and I don't know if this is from the front office or not, but it seems like if you didn't sign Nola already, there's some hesitation, right? It's at least what it feels like on the outside. So then is it Giolito or Nola or both, right? I mean, we've spent all this money on the offense. Sooner or later, you got to continue to spend money on the pitching staff. And I'm not saying they haven't, right? They signed Wheeler, they signed Walker, right? But you still have to invest in the pitching staff. I think depending on where Milwaukee is, guys like Burns or Woodruff might be available. Same thing in St. Louis, depending on where they're at. Guys like Flaherty, Montgomery. Flaherty hasn't had that great of a year, but different change of scenery might help. And then you look at from a first base side, you look at a CJ Crone.
CJ would be nice.
You look at the Cubs.
Would be nice for this baseball team.
Trey Mancini.
He could be every day. He'd just be your everyday first baseman. You don't have to worry about it.
But he'd be a rental, right? He'd be a rental. Currently, right now in 36 games. I know he's injured, but he's 228, 6 homers. But he hit at least 125 in each of his past 4 seasons. When you look at CJ Crone, Cubs are another interesting team. They're kind of in it right now, but they have a few guys over there that can play
would be
nice.
Base.
Hat, Trey Mancini, Patrick Wisdom. Patrick Wisdom doesn't really hit for a lot of average, but who does on our team?
I feel like Mancini stunk as soon as he went to San Diego last year for them. Because that's the name always tossed around as like that righty for us. And I just feel like he stunk when he went there. He stunk against us in the playoffs. And it almost makes me like not want Mancini.
No, I hear you.
He was good for Baltimore, you know?
Yeah.
Will
Myers is another guy, especially with Cincinnati kind of going youth movement. You don't know where he fits in to that.
Say Will Myers?
Will Myers.
Yeah, I mean, because you're hopefully just like a rental. Right?
Yeah.
That's a good rental one because if he gets hurt, whatever.
Yeah.
But high risk. I mean, low risk, high reward.
Yeah,
high risk.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward. Either way you want to put it, but I would say low risk. Just because you never know what this organization is giving up, farm system wise. He make that shot? Holy shit.
Oh.
Anybody see that?
Yeah.
Dude, did that not hit the top of the backboard? Oh my goodness, what a touchy. What a touchy from Jamal Murray there on that layup. That's not a touch from Gabe Vincent. Quite the opposite.
I just saw the ball bounce all the way back to the 3-point line.
Man. And then Murray misses that tapping. You cannot make up sports sometimes. 40 boy, what's up, baby? He said, what's up, boys?
40 boy?
He said, doing big things with Rob Ellis and the vets, man. Proud to see you guys grow so much over the years. Happy to be a part of the family. Appreciate you, 40 boy.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
You've been here for a while. Yeah, Greg's always a little laggy, too. Don't even look. Don't even look. No, Philly Sports Hustle, no Jay Cave. Jay Cave, I don't think is a major leaguer.
He's tearing it up in AAA, though, Tom.
Yeah, he's a good AAA player, obviously. And maybe for like bad teams, he's the bench piece, right? So I don't want to like totally
hit the top outside of the backboard. So like the good side. They just replayed it slow-mo, Tom.
Unbelievable. It's crazy. But maybe a guy like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he's a bench guy on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
Like Oakland. I mean, Oakland's looking for players. They're actually not. But they actually like exactly where they're at. Because by the time they're in Vegas, by the time they're actually in Vegas, which is when? Is that even confirmed when?
I don't think so.
That can't be because they got to get a stadium done.
And they voted. Apparently, the vote didn't happen the other day at the town meeting that it was supposed to. So I don't know what's going on with that.
That's crazy. But either way, they're just going to get a ton of first overall picks, and I mean, baseball a little harder. You got hit more than just one.
Yeah.
But you hit on some. If you hit on some, even if you have 5 firsts over the next 5 years, and you hit on 3 of them, you got good quick.
Yep.
And that would happen by the time you get out to Vegas anyway. Or Oakland was going to build you a stadium. Either way.
Oh my God, that was a bomb.
Either way, right?
They are
right,
14-50. They are horrendous.
And they had 2 wins did they sweep the Braves?
Yeah. No, they went 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Yep. Okay. They won 2 games versus the Braves. 2 of those 14. I mean, I'm not gonna start laughing because then it becomes. I'm not laughing at the Braves. I'm laughing at you beat that good team like that.
Right.
But I better be careful laughing because we're going there for 3.
I know.
Well, we're gonna make upper management sweat. Like, are we winning? Are we winning? It's not what we want to do here.
Yep. We're almost at 20 wins, guys. We gotta relax. We're 6 wins away from 20.
Yeah,
Can we slow our roll, please, a little bit?
It's fucked up.
My God,
it's really messed up what they do to what you do to a fan base.
Yeah,
that's like that. Like, okay, like, and I know that they want a stadium, and a stadium would get more fans there for sure. So, like, I get why they want it, and the fans should want a stadium there. That's always been like, I don't really understand. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I would assume that goes hand in hand, right? That like I would think as a fan I would want that. Who wouldn't want that? Find me the guy who don't want that.
Oh, absolutely. 10-point game, minute and a half left. 101-91.
They're not as good as Denver, obviously, but they refuse to go away.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of bench pieces. So it looks like maybe the bench might have been making that run.
Maybe, man. I mean, what's their bench? Their starters are at some of the bench.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the smoke here, 40 boy has been horrific. Has not been good for the eyes, the mouth, the nose. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts seeing pictures. That's crazy.
So you can't go outside, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the facility and there's a bay door. You know the bay doors.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's cracks in the
There's
one.
cracks all over. Yeah, yeah.
Which that's how bay doors are. And it's like, and I can breathe. I'm breathing it because I'm just like, man, I'm like lightheaded.
Right. Yeah.
It's just weird. You just get like lightheaded. But when I was driving in, I was like, my eyes were getting red
That's crazy.
and like watery. I'm like, I'm in the car.
And that's where you turn on the internal car recycle. You don't pull the air from the outside, right? You know what I mean? Like the intern circulation. You know what I mean? That air.
Yep, we're working. Yep, we're working inside here.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah. What were you going to say before that?
No, I was just there's some interesting names at the top of a list that I'm just looking at that are probably definitely going to be available. And then there's one intriguing name, but there's the top one here is a Marcus Stroman. He's got a 21-player option for next year.
Okay.
Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson's an intriguing name.
Where's he going to play?
Third base.
Does he play third base?
No. Or you can move him to second, Stott to third. I know Stott's probably better at second than playing third. Or DH and Bryce is playing first and Bohm is playing third.
What's his deal like? What's the left?
$14 million team option for 24. You got 12.5 this year in 23.
Okay, now I just seen how much longer, that.
Yeah, team option for 24 at 14 mil. Change of scenery type of guy. I think he's kind of worn out. Unfortunately, he's worn out his welcome. I don't know. I don't think he's worn out his welcome. I just think he's kind of sick of losing in Chicago. And then, of course, Giolito there. Now, the intriguing name is an ex-Philly. Ironically, he wasn't really a Philly, but an ex-farmhand. Jorge Soler. Does it do anything for you guys?
Yeah, but why would they give that up right now?
At this point, you're right. At this point, the Marlins wouldn't. I'm just
they're playing good baseball. They got a horse. You got a horse at the top of the rotation. They got the best hitter, the best
playing. Who's pitching like shit right now?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, and they have other guys in their stable over there, young puppies.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have arguably the best hitter on the planet right now.
The best hitter right now. Yeah.
Average wise.
Yeah. No, you're right. They wouldn't do it now. I'm just saying if they fall out, he potentially would be available.
No, for sure. Which you would assume they will, but you never know.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I mean, Jorge Soler. Yeah. I mean, he got paid. He got paid for swinging in the postseason, and he swings in the
15 mil this year, 9 mil player option for 24,
which you'll probably opt out of.
Which you would, right? Yeah.
Which he would.
No one's turning down $9 million. Not when he's, an outfield DH, corner outfielder DH player. It's not like he's a high defensive rotation type of guy, right?
No, I think he probably opts out of that if he has a good year.
You think?
If he has a good finish to his year again.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 17 homers already. He's kind of like Schwarber, though. 17 homers, 36 RBIs.
Yep. Yeah.
He had 48 homers in 2019.
No, he can there's no question he can lose some baseballs for sure. He brings you some right-handed pop.
Yeah.
That you could be missing at times. But yeah, I mean, there is some good names out there. You just wonder if they're going to be out there, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
another guy like, again, Giants, would they make a move? But you look at two guys like a Jock Peterson, Michael Conforto, you know what I mean? Guys that if the Giants are in it, they're probably not making moves, but if they fall out, might be available.
Yeah.
I think the Tigers, you can go to the Tigers for pitching if you want. they have a bunch of guys that are probably available. When you look at, Michael Lorenzen, there's your typical fifth type of starter, right? The Michael Lorenzen type of guy. Or you go front of the rotation and the Eduardo Rodriguez, who just re-signed up there for them. So you wouldn't have to sign him. You just have to accept the money if you went top of the rotation. But he's currently hurt, so.
Okay, gotcha. Wanted to, obviously some things haven't changed, but some things may have moved a little bit. RBIs, we were like 23, 24th.
Yep.
Last time we sort of talked about it together, we're 22nd in that category.
Mm-hmm.
So a little movement. Runs were 21st, so a little bit more movement there than we had. Averages around the same, 12th in baseball. Doubles 8th, triples 6th, so still right around the same. Homers moved up to 18th. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
So a little movement there. Earned run average is still 21st in baseball, so I think there was a little bit movement there since the last time we talked. Not a ton, but a little bit. Runs against 21st. Okay. So a little bit. Earned runs 18th, so a little bit better there.
Okay.
Okay. Hits 11th. Saves 14th. Home runs 9th, which is good. Walks 10th. So those numbers still good, right? So it's still the same things on why we're at where we're at right now. And if they continue to work their way down, right, then we're gonna work our way up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
no, for sure.
Pretty basic numbers there.
Good to see all that movement though in the right direction. You don't want to go the other way. Right? That means we're still playing bad baseball.
Yeah.
But you figure what? We hit seven home runs just in this 2 or 3 game series so far against the Tigers, right? Or 4. No, Schwarber hit his 2 against Washington. I'm sorry. Trea hit 2 against Detroit. So, but yeah, you're right. Over the last couple of games, they've hit enough to start moving up, which is nice. So it feels like everybody just hits the ball in the ballpark, but us at times. Yeah. You look up in stats like, how does Jake Berger have double-digit home runs, and we have one guy in double digits right now? Oh, Udonis Haslund getting some run.
Oh, my God.
Or he was. Now he's not.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
That, and then you watch it versus us, right?
Right.
You watch it versus us. So that's how I always, have looked at it. Like all these guys are hitting it, the homers versus us, and we're over here, with 5 hits and 1 for or 0 for 6 or 5 with runners in scoring position in that specific game, which is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what does Ethan say? Tim Anderson and one of the White Sox top arms in a deal, kind of like what the Dodgers did with Scherzer and Trea, but to a lesser degree. Yep.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't hate it. I've always liked Tim Anderson. But yeah, to your point though, Tommy, I don't know if he has or can play third. I mean, I assume as a middle infielder, he probably can. But obviously, we don't know that because I think he played second in the World Baseball Classic. I don't think they put him over third. Yeah.
He played second. Yeah, he played second.
And a guy like that might not want to move.
Yeah.
I mean, so
would you just move Stott to third, or would you just put him somewhere else? Like,
I don't know if I'll go doing all of it. I'll just stay away from a guy like that. Like if a guy like that,
just because there's not an easy fit.
Yeah, if he's not willing to move, then I don't even make the deal. So Denver wins Game 3. 109-94. Take a 2-1 series lead versus the Heat. And Game 4 is a month from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, why would you not play Sunday? You had all Sunday to yourself.
Yeah, and the better team won. I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not a shock. But Miami's going to fight. I expect. You would think I would expect them to not get run out the gym in Game 4, but you never know. Denver's good, but Miami's tough. So you always expect them to throw a jab back,
especially with Spoelstra, right? We talked about on Sunday. We talked about on all of our shows that we're on, right? How good Spoelstra is at making adjustments, right? And it seemed like Malone matched him in his adjustments to the zone that they played.
Yeah.
And they got Joker a bunch of easy buckets right there inside the paint at the foul line by just bringing the wings and having them drive and kicking the. So it's not. It'll be interesting to see the adjustments that are made.
Yeah, Hills is a joke. They
Oh,
draw the series out though. Game 4 is Friday, but they draw the series out. They have no weekend game.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a Friday night game, so it's weekend.
Will they go Friday to Monday?
Friday, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, I understand the travel extra day. You know, but there was the second game in Denver wasn't there was 2 off days. There was 2 off days. So that's what doesn't make sense to me. That's where I was making the joke. You draw it out when it's like you should do that on on travel days.
Yep.
You give the 2 days off. You let teams catch their breath a little bit. That's where you let the breath catch and come in. Okay. But the Joker records first 30-20-10 game in NBA Finals history. So just a little.
Well, I'm sorry. What was that? First triple double.
First 30-20-10 game.
Ooh. Hello. I guess that's okay, right? That's a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's all right. I think he's going to make it. They're pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's all right.
I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good, and they got some pretty good players around him too.
Yeah.
It's not, he's sensational, and he's surrounded with some really good basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamal Murray's really good. So they're good. Hills, there's always guys. I mean, there's guys they can trade.
Yep. It's everybody who's not up at this point.
Yeah, there's prospects the Phillies could trade. I'm not saying they want to. I'm sure there's some guys they probably would rather not. So it's in the best interest of how you keep a train moving is you don't have to do that every year. It's how you keep a train moving and you develop players with inside your system. And you have guys like Stott and Alec Bohm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you want to continue to bring that up. Like Kyle Schwarber's not going to play for the next decade here. There's guys, you know what I mean? So you want to continue to replenish. But if you're constantly trading it, it's hard to replenish it, right? So you want your guys that you're spending a lot of money on now to go win while you can develop a farm system and grow a farm system. So you can, air quote, be a team, whoever you want to say, that has been winning for the last 15 years.
Yep.
That isn't spending a ton of money. Like spending money, but not like overspending.
Yeah, because you're right. You can't keep throwing, taking the cover, shaking the cover bare every year, right? You can only go so much, and then that's how you balloon a payroll, and that's where we're at now, right? Where we're at out balloon payroll, but hopefully some of these other guys can come up and take some heat off. But we also got to bring them up. We also have to be able to trust to bring them up, and we're just not there yet with a couple of guys. So until we are, they're expendable for proven talent.
Oh, for sure, Greg. Everybody is. So what do you guys think in the Dodgers series? Well, I
think you got to take 2 out of 3 of these. 2 out of 3 of the Dodgers, and you're feeling pretty good. And then I think after the Dodgers series, I'm pretty sure that's when you fly out to Arizona. I'm pretty sure for the 4.
For 4 man.
For them.
Yeah, Arizona and Oakland on the road before coming back to host our NL East.
So we got
rivals.
the Dodgers series, and then we fly out to Arizona for 4, and then we play Oakland, and then come back home for the Braves and Mets.
Friday, Suarez versus Grove. Then Saturday's Nola Miller, and Sunday's Walker against Urias. I guess Urias is back. I thought we talked last week. They sounded like he was out, but it looks like he's back. So Grove and Miller are young. Miller's thrown the ball really well, though. And obviously Urias is one of their upper tier guys. But we also have 3 good guys going that have shown over the last start or two between both of them or all three of them that maybe they're coming back to life, in terms of Nola and Walker. I don't think we can appreciate what Walker did, especially how bad he was to start before, right? And how we thought maybe he was injured because his velo was down and stuff like that. And then he came out and just shoved last night, or it was yesterday. He just came out and shoved, and it was good to see because now you're right. He's not hurt. Strange to hear, though, you couldn't get loose in June. It's not like it's April or May where you're like, yeah, it was just a little cold, couldn't get loose. But that was what he said when they were like, oh, your velo down. Yeah, just couldn't get loose. It's kind of weird in June.
Yeah.
But good to see the bounce back because I think he's going to be a big piece going forward.
Oh, he's paid to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Paid to be. But tomorrow's a big start for Wheeler because that's a game you're heavily favored in. So,
and especially after his last outing, he probably wants to come out and shove tomorrow. After getting lit up by the Nats.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think he doesn't want.
And the Dodgers are on a 4-game losing streak, right? Coming into tomorrow.
Yeah.
4-game losing streak, and they have one more.
I think they got Kershaw going tomorrow for them. Pretty sure. I think that's what I saw.
That would make sense because he's missing us, right? You know what I mean? Hills, Ellie special right now. We'll see if it holds. We were talking about that before we went live. Can we get lucky enough to get a guy like that?
Yeah, Phillies Sports House. We played bad in LA when we went there, but you hope. Because we played bad in San Fran too.
Yeah.
You hope that was just a West Coast thing, and that's not like okay, they're gonna take our lunch every time we freaking play them type deal.
And yes, we did give up double digits all 3 games. 13, 13, and 10.
Just to confirm.
So, yep, spot on.
Yeah, Dodgers got Kershaw going tomorrow. It's a 12:30 start for them tomorrow.
Syndergaard. No, he went today. Syndergaard went today, which is perfect for the over better that I did. Syndergaard's on the mound. Bet runs.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Friday night, it is Ranger versus a Grove.
Yep.
Saturday will be Aaron Nola versus Miller. And Bobby Miller has only started 2 games this year, but he's been pretty good. So,
yeah, he's been pretty good.
Been pretty good. And then it's Julio Urias versus Mr. Walker, who we were just talking about. So, it's not like, you're not seeing a gauntlet of great arms, but, those arms coming in.
Grove and Miller are young. Like you said, Miller's thrown really well, but they're both young, so you never know, how they're going to return start after start, right?
Yeah.
So. Fly down there?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
he's looking for something.
There's something flying around. Some circling the tarmac around here.
I love it.
Looking for a clean runway.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. But yeah, not a this motherfucker.
He's got him. He's got him in his sights.
I love it.
This might be the best TV right here.
It is. Move the camera over to the right a little bit,
Yeah. Hills asked, sorry. Has there been any update on Painter? Yeah, he was shut down last week because he was sick. He was going to resume throwing this week. He's thrown flat ground up to 120 feet was what I was reading, but he's still doing partial bullpen, so he's not throwing the full distance on bullpens yet.
Do we see him
so
in a Phillies uniform this year, Greg?
I was just going to, he's still, I would say, 2 months away at minimum. And at that point, what do you do, right? Especially if you're making a move.
Especially if you do make a trade for that fifth starter, I mean, where do you put him, right?
Exactly.
Do you just leave him in AAA and just let him ride out the year, and then you bring him up next year and give him the keys to whatever, spot you give him in the rotation?
And
so it's tricky right now for him. But I think if you do make that move for the fifth guy for the Phillies, or make it just a pitching trade in general, I think that might be just the route they go for him, and just, not rush him, let him get some innings down in AAA, and then you just figure out the rest going into next year. And then, see where he's at in spring training, and hopefully, he doesn't get hit with any injuries in spring training, and you just give him, the spot in the rotation next year and just let him go.
Well, the key thing is we knew at some point this year, whether he was up right away or whether he was getting brought up later on, that his innings was going to be capped, right? So the good news is this helps with the cap. He's not wasting bullets per se. But but the flip side to that is obviously it comes with an injury, right? And that's never good to the shoulder, the arm, or whatever, right? So it's going to be interesting. I continue to say that I think they really missed a chance to use him in the bullpen last year through the playoffs. Just get a little taste and just see how he reacts, right? Because that's the other part of it, right? We talk about the Dodgers, like with Miller and these guys, like these young guys coming up. How do they react? How do they react day after day, right, in the bigs and stuff like that? So I would love him to be up, but you're right, Ralph. Depending on the type of move they make, maybe he's up, but he's in the bullpen, as that long guy. Maybe he's that mid reliever, that long guy that takes 2 innings and stuff like that, just to get his beak wet, and then, as you said, roll in the next year with a little bit of experience. But I don't envision him being up until at minimum after the All-Star break, which the All-Star break is early July, right? July 7th through the 11th is the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And then the trade deadline is August 1st.
Yeah. So a month away from
You're
the
right,
All-Star
a month
break.
away. It's exactly a month away, the All-Star break. So I don't envision him being up by then. And then with the trade deadline being August 1st, I would have to think, to your point,
he's right in that window. That would be right in the window spot, right?
They decide what they're going to do at the deadline. Probably a lot of Painter's expectation and health depends on what they do. Maybe instead of making a move, maybe they just bring the kid up, and that's their move.
Yeah, and that's basically your quote unquote move. At the deadline is you just bring him up. And you just slide him into the fifth, or you just put him into the bullpen, like you said, and get him innings.
But it'll be interesting because I think he's back throwing, but I don't envision him up. If the 1 month away from the All-Star game, he's definitely not up by then. And then 2 weeks after that is the trade deadline, so you might as well, keep him down there until you either bring him up and, as you said, that's your move, or you'd go make a move for a bigger guy.
You talking about Painter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it really hard to believe he'll get up.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too at the end of the day.
Yeah, they'll ease him in back there. He'll ease him in back there, and then we'll just go from there.
Yep.
Right. And maybe Abel, maybe McGarry, McGreary, whatever the heck his name is.
McGarry's a character in MLB The Show. Did you unlock him yet, Ralph?
I have not. No,
I haven't either. He's listed as like a future star.
Really? Future star. Okay.
Not sure how that's gonna go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there. Would Matt go future star? No, but it's a tough month.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important month
Very much so.
because if you do have a really good month with the teams you're playing, it says a lot. Then it starts. Then it brings confidence back. Like I said, not only to a fan base, but it brings confidence back to your locker room, to your organization.
For sure. Especially too, a couple weeks we at home, but you face, as Ralphie said, you face the Braves, you face the Mets, who you just faced on the road.
At the end of the month too.
But now you get to make up games with them if you're playing well, right?
Yeah.
Now you get to cut into that, 6.5, 7.5 back of Atlanta. You know what I mean? And you get to make up some potential games with that stretch if you're playing well. If not, you're going the wrong direction.
Alonso, did he not get hurt today too? If he got hit in the hand and left the game, didn't he not?
Oh, did he?
I think so.
He got plunked. Yeah, I just saw it too.
I think he got hit in the hand and he also left the game. I'm not sure if he returned or if he was out. I don't know if.
No,
I don't know what the injury
he left
update
the game
on that
because
is.
I'm facing him in fantasy and he just has a hit by pitch.
Yep.
Yeah, I know he got hit in the hand and wrist area. I don't know if he's out for a significant time or if it was just a stinger and they just kept him out for precautionary reasons.
Negative. X-rays negative. What does Twitter have? X-rays negative was he's been diagnosed with a contusion considered day-to-day. So just a bruise.
Gotcha.
I like how we make up big words like contusion for a bruise. Apparently the Braves fans were saying throw it again. I guess that's what he was screaming last night at Elder after he hit the bomb.
Yeah, I saw that, and then they blew the lead.
The fans gave it back to him today after he got hit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, like what their history is.
Well, Elder's a rookie, so there's no history. I think Elder was the first time he faced him.
So he's just talking shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if something happened during the first at bat or something like that.
Well, somebody threw it again. Hey.
He threw it at him all right.
Welcome to baseball. Guys will let you know. They'll police the game.
Talk that ish and you'll get hit.
Guys still police the game even 2024.
Yep.
So there's that.
Don joins. What up, Donnie? No, we don't want him. I mean, I'll take him. You want Guthrie? I'll take Moitan over Guthrie, but that's.
See the Giants squeeze. Giants squeezed in the ninth.
No, did they?
To take the lead, yeah.
Oh, look at Kapler.
Got away from the analytics for a second.
I know, it irks me so bad. This guy wants to squeeze now.
Yeah.
Right?
Incredible.
This guy wants to play a little small ball. Tremendous competitor that he is.
Would have been nice. Or maybe not. Maybe we're exactly where we need to be.
No. We know he's out. We know how much of a competitor he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Don, we're not good up here. We're there. We could use some.
I don't know if Detroit's the best place to get good air either, though. But it's probably better than what you guys got right now.
Yeah, probably not. Crawford's probably the best position prospect, I would think, because usually guys were just drafted like that.
Yeah, just not close. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably other guys. There's probably other position players that are closer, that are talented, but you never know. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Baseball is weird like that. Other sports are too, but baseball is really weird like that.
It is, for sure.
Yeah, Don. Flyers are cleaning the house. Trust the process over at the Wells Fargo Center.
He goes from one team to the other team in the same building. Yeah.
I get it, but how like that's our luck, right? As Flyers fans, like we have Bob, we trade Bob. He turns out to be, a pretty good goalie, right?
Yeah. wins some Vezina trophies,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Win some Vezinas, and then we wait for this carrot that's been hung over our head. Oh, you got Carter Hart. And then we get like a taste of him, and then he's like, yep, now he's gone. Now we're back to nothing.
Build no defense around him, and then we just let him,
Yeah.
I think it's time to get rid of him.
I get it, though, right? Like, the part that annoys me, too, and I said this last night on the Hockey Happy Hour, but, like, you didn't tank this year. Like, you actually tried this year. You know what I mean? Like, you tried to win games. You knew you were blowing it up. Whether it was Fletcher or Briere, you knew you were blowing this team up this offseason. Like, what was the point in trying to win games? I'm not saying we were always going to get number one, because I just think those lotteries are rigged, right? And Philadelphia is not a riggable city for some reason in both sports, right? But we could be sitting 2, 3, you know what I mean, as opposed to 7, because we tried. Like, did those extra 10 wins really mean that much?
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, now that we're blowing it up, right? You know what I mean? Like, now that we're resetting, blowing it up, it's like, yeah, there's 10 games probably could have been nice being else. Should have just taken the L's.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. It was a halfway in, halfway out.
Yep.
I mean, they weren't even halfway in, but
they were just only in from the coaching standpoint, right, Tommy? Like, you just knew Tortorella just was too good of a coach to lose a lot of games, just him alone.
Well, they got off to a good freaking start in the season. You're like, oh my God, we might sniff the playoffs this year. and then December and January rolled around. You're like, okay, this is the Flyers team that we know. This team sucks. This team is buns, and just start losing some games, and then they start winning games at the end of the year, and like, oh well, there goes that pipe dream.
Yeah,
here it comes.
Would have been nice to get Connor Bedard.
It would have been nice. It would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes them. I mean, you never know. You never know how long it takes them to compete again.
I say 2-3 years.
People say there's stuff down there. I don't know. I don't know what's down there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's gonna be tough.
There are money, probably 2 or 3 years. There are some things.
Yeah. It's young talent, though. I mean, they are talented, but it's young, real young. I think most of the guys are like under 20 that are playing the Phantoms right now. Like when you talk about the kids that are potentially coming up, Tyson Forrester, stuff like that. Those guys are young, but you got to play them. You got to bring them up. At this point, what else you got?
You know how the Flyers are at young talent. They take their time with them, and they're very impatient with fucking young talent. If that makes sense with the Flyers, to be completely honest, because we've been calling for guy. I mean, look at Morgan Frost. Took him freaking 4 years just to make the team,
and he still wasn't what everyone thought he was.
Yeah. And everybody was, blowing him for the past 4 years, saying this is the next guy behind Giroux.
Yeah.
It took him 3 to 4 years just to make the freaking team.
Well, that always tells you a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek, I'm going off the premise that Couturier is one of the guys traded this offseason. I'm going to go Scott Lawton as your next captain.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, he is already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hayes is being dealt, right? Couturier is your only guy that you would give it to him if he's around. But I have a feeling they're gonna do right by him and let him go. They just have to prove that he's healthy, right? He's just that
because every year he's banged up, man. Every year. And it's not like he's out
This
for
was
like
the worst, though. This was
it's not
the
like
worst
every
one.
year he's out for like 1 or 2 weeks and he's good. It's always like a 1 or 2 month thing, and it's like Jesus Christ. Here we go again.
Moniak just doubled. Bases loaded.
It's hysterical.
Bases clearing too. All three of them came in.
Did we give up too soon?
I don't think so. I just think it was just one of those change of sceneries, personally.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there was no really scenery here because he wasn't here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, too.
But no, I mean, he's okay. You know.
Yeah.
Marsh pretty good.
I think so. I like him.
Yeah, I do too. Bro, a little life with him, you know?
Yeah.
Seemed like he fit right in here. So, all right, boys. Well, good show.
Always.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Good show.
Gauntlet coming up for the Phillies. See how well they do.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's start with tomorrow. Let's start with getting a dub tomorrow with Wheeler on the mound. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to go take care of business tomorrow.
Sweep Detroit. You're feeling pretty good going into the Dodgers series.
Absolutely.
Definitely are. Definitely are. Appreciate everybody out there listening in. Tomorrow, you got jam-packed Thursday A2D shows tomorrow.
Eagles Thursday.
Eagles Thursday on A2D tomorrow. So you start out with Bowen on the Birds at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by Vetted with Irvin Fryer and Hollis Thomas at 5 p.m. Eastern, followed by Coach Marcus, former Eagles Marcus Thomas, starts to take you into the night at 7 p.m. Eastern on Pro Fan Talk. And then the boys of Birds of a Feather put you to bed. Take you right, they tuck you in. Tuck you in at 9. I think they're 9:30 usually. 9.
Yeah, 9:30.
Like that. Yeah, 9:30.
Yeah, they're fluid.
9:30, 9:45, depending on who wants to show up. You know,
Tuck you in at night.
Yeah, really squeeze you in. Squeeze you in. Don says we got more shows than ESPN. That's a docket, Don.
Hopefully they're better too. I think they're better than ESPN shows.
I do too. And the goal isn't just for like a 4-pack in a day. You know what I mean? The goal is to have programming all day.
Jam-pack it up.
The goal, you want programming all day. You want good programming all day. You just don't want programming, just a program.
Great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Did he miss third base?
That's what they're looking at right now. It's pretty close.
Look like he got it.
I don't know if they can definitively prove he missed it.
Which guy missed it?
The trail, the last guy, the trail guy.
Now you're grasping.
Yeah.
Like the first guy missed it. That's fun. Because then other guys got to go back the bags.
Yeah, what they do. I just don't think that. I don't think they can make it clear and concise. At least from the angles that I've seen.
Dude, I haven't seen them. I don't remember seeing anybody, and I could be wrong, review last year if somebody missed the bag.
Yeah.
Running the bases.
They already appealed it like in the play, right? They appealed it and they said safe.
Somebody really thought something. somebody up,
thought it safe.
Yeah, somebody up top really was barking down.
It was the rookie too, Neto. Neto might have been fired.
Yeah.
They called it good.
Yeah.
It's weird because all the angles showed they were like really, really wide and really far away. But it's like if you were challenging like a safe out call, you would have had a camera angle right there. I don't know if just because there wasn't a play, they didn't zoom in on it. You know what I mean? It was just because everyone was running around.
First of Martian, he says AI turned 48. Can he still suit up? Yeah, he can.
I'm sure he can.
Don says, is Zion a crumb on Sunday? I mean, he cummed on. I mean, yeah,
he crumbed somewhere.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Couple places.
Yeah.
He came in on Sunday and around. He was around the area. Yep. Marge says, watch A2D, about to have a Spanish channel. A2D radio. Coming soon. Coming soon.
To a throat near you.
Yeah, that's Zion.
Oh, man.
He's not
you knew what you
when
were
he's not
getting.
dunking basketballs, he's dunking something else.
And it ain't donuts.
Nope.
Well, maybe it is. I mean, he is. It's not light.
Jesus God, Greg.
Good Lord.
I'm lying to say. We're just gonna leave it there. I mean, I want to say it, but I won't.
Great week.
I'm not
Great
light
week.
either, so
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
I'll save it for when we get off. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Sweep, send me an inbox. All right. I'm not on Facebook, whatever on Instagram. All right. For Ralph Del Vecchio, Greg Milakovic, I'm Tom Arnone. This has been A2D Wednesday nights. And we were brought to you by our good friends over at Philly Sports Trips. Go book your getaway today, and we're going to take you out on a little commercial. Brought to you by Philly Sports Trips.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
No, I'm just kidding. I know we're back. But I might have been at the comments. You guys are out of control. He's doing community work. Real community.
God.
You guys
brought to you by.
Yeah. I saw Don. I see you too, Don. You can't run from you. Can't run from you. Oh, boys, great show. Appreciate everybody. It's been A2D Wednesday nights. Before they never allow me on the air again, even at my own company, I'm going to end the broadcast. Eagles Thursday on A2D starts at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night or afternoon. Later.